Hey everyone, it's Darby from Blue Television Games. I have a Mega Maker level showcase for you today that's actually a recreation of the Antarctica levels from the G.I. Joe game on NES. This was created by Nintendo Addict. We'll have G.I. Joe, the original level, on the left, and we'll have the Mega Maker level on the right. There'll be a couple times where I couldn't get them to match up well, so we'll just see the G.I. Joe level. Let's go ahead and start it up. Alright, so here's both intro screens side by side. It's kind of funny how well G.I. Joe actually translates into Mega Maker, as you'll see here. He made the default weapon no weapon at all. That way you need to collect ammo in order to be able to shoot your fire weapon. As you can see here, all the platforms and everything is lined up almost exactly like the original level in G.I. Joe. There's some adjustments here and there where needed, such as that spring back there to jump high enough to get over. A lot of the enemies he's chosen here work really well to replicate the enemies from the G.I. Joe game. I did have to edit the Mega Maker side of this quite a bit to get it to match up pretty well. I just really wanted to show you how well of a job he did recreating this. The more and more I played this level, I just couldn't believe how much this felt just like a traditional Mega Man level, even though it was a G.I. Joe level remade. One thing that'll be quite a bit different in the G.I. Joe video is there's a lot of boss battles. Since Mega Maker only allows for one boss battle, Addict went ahead and saved the boss battle for the very end and skipped the others. Here's the first boss battle in the G.I. Joe game. We have to take down this aircraft that's dropping missiles down on our character. I haven't played G.I. Joe on the NES, so I was pretty bad at this part. But it almost seemed like after a while of shooting and shooting and shooting, I think I switched to a different character here and started punching the missiles. Yeah, let's see, I switched to this guy, I tried shooting a bit. I think at one point I accidentally switched to punch, and it seemed almost like the punches were stronger than the gun and was taking out the missiles a bit quicker. So I kind of just went with that method, punching and punching. Once his health got low, I switched again. You actually have 3 characters in G.I. Joe you can switch between at any time. They each have different stats and their own health bars. It's a really cool game. I definitely look forward to checking out more of G.I. Joe. Now that we've defeated the boss, let's go ahead and head on to the next part, Mission 2-2. Now at Addict's level, all these missions will be linked together, minus 2 of the boss fights. Now this section was the hardest to match up, and you're going to see a lot of cuts and sped up gameplay on the G.I. Joe side. And the reason being is I'm not familiar with G.I. Joe, so I was kind of all over the place, and my Mega Maker playthrough of the level was quite different. But I'll show you some clips here and there just to show you how well of a job he did of matching up all the platforms and treadmills and everything from G.I. Joe over to Mega Maker. Such as right here where we drop down to collect some ammo. Here we have some sped up gameplay. This section of this level is just really wide open and you can kind of go any way you want. And you'll place down all these bombs in certain locations. Once again, my Mega Maker playthrough was just nowhere near the direction that I went with this, and it would just take way too long to chop it up and try to get them to match up. Once I made it up to these conveyor belts, the game did start to match up pretty well again. You can see once again just how well of a job Nintendo Addict did at this. Here we drop off a bomb at G.I. Joe. On the Mega Maker side, he made this really cool platform section that's really fun. It fits in really well with the Mega Man series. Here things got out of sync quite a bit again as we teleported to Mega Maker. We worked our way up here. Pay attention close to the next 2 screens. Now we're actually in the same area now, but I'm down below on the G.I. Joe side and I'm up above on the Mega Maker. But once we get both to the top, you can see it all matches up pretty well. Now we have yet another boss fight that I'm going to speed up here in a second, but I'll show this to you for just a little bit. You notice the boss rooms are really compact, just like Mega Man levels. Once again, it's really cool how similar the 2 games are, even though they're quite different. After a bit of time of shooting these and dodging them, eventually you'll start taking some of them out, and this boss fight actually gets easier as you go. However, once you get down to the last one, it starts moving pretty fast. Once you take it out, you move on to the final section. Now this next section, it's a little easier to see how well it matches up. However, in Mega Maker it was a lot easier to fly through this section. This does something in the G.I. Joe game that Mega Man actually does a lot. and it's put enemies that bump you off and kill you instantly. And just like in Mega Man and G.I. Joe, when you fall off a platform, you die. I actually have Mega Maker at half speed right now. Once you make it up to these last few platforms, you get to the final boss fight. Since it's the final boss fight in the G.I. Joe game, Natick decided to make this where we would fight the boss in Mega Maker. You use Bomb Man to kind of replicate whoever we're fighting in the G.I. Joe game. Once again, I am a noob when it comes to G.I. Joe. Haven't played it, so I'm not sure of all the characters' names and all that stuff. Here I have the Mega Maker video slowed down by 50%. It was the only way I could get them to match up pretty well here. Once I switched to punches here on this boss fight, once again I was able to take out the enemy really quick. Seems like punching actually is a lot more powerful than guns a lot of the time in G.I. Joe. This will conclude the remake of the G.I. Joe levels in Mega Maker by Natick. Let me know in the comments below how you think you did. If you have any recreations of your own, make sure you post them in the comments below for a chance to be in an upcoming video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and be sure to hit the subscribe button. Over to the left is a couple other videos from BTG I think you might enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you around.